Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the books I read in January. I am back with another wrap up, but first I have to tell you about Luisa, who has once again sponsored a video and sent me some beautiful jewelry. Luisa is an online jewelry company who has such a good range of different products, bracelets, rings, necklaces that are all so gorgeous. It's so curated to like every person's wants and needs and what you want out of your jewelry. To show you guys, they sent me a necklace, and this necklace has an S on it. My husband's name starts with an S, and if you've ever heard the Taylor Swift song that goes, "I want to wear your initial on a chain around my neck, not because he owns me, but because he really knows me." If you get it, you get it. If you know, you know. I love Taylor Swift, and I love this necklace too. They also sent me some earrings that have a moon and a star, and they are probably the most cute earrings I've ever seen in my entire life. I love them literally so much. I will be wearing them all the time. Like, they're gorgeous. And just in time for Valentine's Day, they sent me a pair of heart earrings, and these I'm so excited about. It could not have come at a better time. They're so gorgeous. And they're so perfect for February, and right now Luisa has a sale going on. Of course, if you go check out their website, and you can also order now and possibly get your items before Valentine's Day. Luisa is literally the best. They have free shipping in the US, and they also do have exchanges if you need to. If you aren't satisfied, you can definitely exchange whatever you get. And they do have a 2-year warranty guarantee as well. So they have so many good things. Definitely check them out. Thank you once again to Luisa. I love you so much. And let's jump into the video. I know, I haven't done a wrap up in a long time, and I'm really sorry about that. I've just not been on my YouTube game. I will try to change that. Now, this is like my first video of the year out of 30 days, a whole month. That's not what I used to post. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. But in other news, I'm really busy. I got a promotion at my job. I got a new car. I am doing big things in my life just that you guys don't see, and I feel so bad. I want to be connected again, and we will. We'll build that trust again. We'll build the connection. But for now, we're starting with my January wrap up. These aren't in the order that I read them, but I read There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Rose Poole. This one was, interestingly enough, really good, and I gave it 4 stars. It's about this kingdom, this little part of the world in the book where darkness is coming, the age of darkness, and basically there's been a prophecy put out that these different things are going to happen and all these different characters are going to come into play when the age of darkness comes. And like, they don't really explain what that is. I think it's like the end of the world, you know, the usual. And so the 5 main characters each have their own special abilities and things like that, and they are also each a piece of the prophecy puzzle. And I had put this book off for so long, like I've had it for a while, and I don't know why I never read it, but it was really good, and I do want to read the next one. I think the writing style was really easy to get into. It was enjoyable, it was fun. The characters, they didn't fall flat either. Like, I really liked them, so overall it was a good fantasy book. I have little complaints, like I almost have no complaints. I think the characters could have been more interesting in their relationships with each other. That's like the only reason I gave it 4 stars instead of 5. I also read The Roughest Draft by Emily Wyberly and Austin Seigman Broca. So this book is about a pair of writers who write books together, and then they have a falling out and they don't write books together anymore ever again after they wrote, I think, 1 book or 2 books together. And so the characters don't talk for like 4 years. They haven't talked. They don't like each other. They don't want to talk. And it was so funny, like, because the whole plot of the book is that they have to write 1 more novel because they're under contract to do so, but they don't want to talk to each other. So when they're on the phone with like their editors, they don't speak because they're not going to be the first one to talk to the other. And that really sums up their relationship and who they are as characters and how much they have, like, how stubborn they are, pretty much. A lot of people don't like this book because it could be considered having a cheating trope, because when the characters met, when they wrote a book together, the man in this book had a wife, and that could be an issue. I gave it 3.5 stars, so I mean, I didn't love the book. I'm not rooting for it. I'm not saying cheating is good. I'm not saying I support that part of the book, but I do see the argument on, like, it's not really cheating because they never even got together when that happened, but he did like leave his wife, and this is all like you learn it very early on. So take that as you will. It used to be a really more hyped up book, I would say. Haven't heard about it a lot, and I see why. Like, people didn't receive it that well. But I read it, and I'm not mad that I read it. Then I had An Arc of the Fury by Alex Michaelides, and also, like, the lighting over here is so good, but it's too bright in my eyes. I can't go over there. The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I got an arc of this. I was so happy when I did. Kaladon Books, thank you so much for sending it to me. I forgot that sometimes I get randomly some of their books, and this was like one that was a big name that I was like, oh, thank you. Didn't think they would send it my way, but they did. I don't read thrillers, we know this, but I really enjoyed this one. The Fury is about 6 people who are friends, or more like just entangled frenemies, and they all go to an island because one of these main characters, and we get like all the point of views. One of them, she's like super famous and rich. She owns an island. She's like, everybody come to my island and let's have a weekend. Somebody dies on the island, and the whole book is showing you and teaching you and revealing to you who the killer is. Also, I lied. You don't get multiple point of views, but the main character has a connection with everyone, so he's telling you the story. And it feels like you get everybody's point of view because you learn about like each character. And this book is kind of set up as a play. Like, the main character is talking to you and like setting the stage. And it's a really interesting concept the way that the author wrote it. And I really enjoyed it. This is my first book I've read by this author. He also wrote The Silent Patient, that is like super famous. Everybody loves it. So I will say I was pleasantly surprised, and I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Also read Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and I love Abby Jimenez, okay? Listen, I think I gave this book 3.75. Maybe a 4. I think I gave it like 3.5. But I will say I still love her. She's still my girl. I will still read anything she writes. I'm still gonna read the rest of her books. This just wasn't my favorite. This book I get confused with When in Rome, because they both have like, she's a rich girl and he is not rich guy, and they get together. But in that one, the main girl's famous. In this one, she's like locally famous. She's a doctor. Her family's like well-renowned doctors in her town, and she's like expected to follow in her family's legacy, blah blah blah, until she goes to a small town and meets a carpenter man who, you know, he lives humble, okay? I'm not saying he's broke. He just lives a humble life. He owns a inn where people can come and stay, like a bed and breakfast inn, which is so cute, okay? He has everything he needs. But she finds that, like, she's going through a divorce also. Did I mention she's going through a divorce? Not even a divorce. It's just a breakup. They weren't even married. And, like, she was so tied down. She didn't need to be, okay? Anyway, a breakup, but they lived together. I'm giving you a lot of information here. Just follow my lead. So she randomly breaks down in this little small town, meets the guy, can't really stop thinking about him, starts a little fling, goes from her town that's like 2 hours away or an hour away, drives to see him like every weekend. But she's like, this is never going to be anything because we have 2 different lives, 2 different worlds, and my friends would not accept you. Your friends are different. We don't match. We're not, like, we don't, 2 + 2 does not equal 4 in this case. So it causes a lot of strife, and I think that's what made me really mad about the book, is that there was just so much, like, there was a timeline on their relationship, there were so many stipulations to their relationship, and then, like, she didn't even want the relationship because she was like, I could never be with you. There was an age gap that she was like, I don't like this. So it was just a lot. But I still enjoyed it. I still did like the romance. I still did find myself like feeling for it and being like, oh, that was so cute, and wanting to tear up and things like that, especially at the end. The grand gesture at the end, well, really when the 3rd act breakup happens, that it was written so good. Abby, she knows how to write, okay? She just does. So that's Part of Your World. That was probably way more than anyone ever wanted to hear about that book. I also read Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. This is a memoir. I had high hopes because I saw a YouTuber that's like really big in the romance space talk about this book and like loves it and reads it all the time. I didn't really love the book as much as I thought I would. It was good. I think I ended up giving it 4 stars, and there were some things that I ended up like tabbing and underlining that I found insightful. And I think if you have a friend that's turning 30, this would be the perfect book for them because Dolly wrote this like on the cusp of turning 30. So that's really cool. If you like memoirs, I would say check it out. I read Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, book 2 to Divine Rivals, and this book did live up to the hype for me, okay? I did enjoy it. I loved being back with Kit and Iris, and the fact that on the cover of these books, this one is a little keyboard, a little typewriter, and it says Dear Roman, and on the first book, on the cover, it says Dear Iris. Excuse me? That makes me want to sob. And this book, Rebecca, you put Kit through hell and you know what you did. She didn't have to do Kit like that the entire book. He just couldn't catch a break, but it was good. It didn't go like the ways I thought it would. Like she took some different plot choices that I was like, okay. But overall it was still really good. I think I gave it 4 stars, 4.5. I love the first one more. But it was a great sequel, well, a great ending to the story because it's only a duology. Okay, and finally, the last book I read 7 books, this is the last one, is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. I had high hopes for this, and I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3.5 or 3.75. Okay, this one's hard to explain, but it's about this lady named Elizabeth, and she is a scientist or trying to be a scientist in like the late 90s when men run the science world and like want to push all women out of science and stuff. So I love what it did for like advocating for women and that part. Like she's badass. Like I loved her thoughts on the world as a woman. Like that was so enjoyable to me, and I do love that. The parts that I didn't like were more with the side characters and how we would jump from her point of view to like every other person's point of view, and I wish we would have been more in her head because she was the most exciting part of the book, but we were never in her mind. We were always learning about her through everybody else's eyes. And I get the stylistic choice, but it personally wasn't something that I found the most intriguing to read. We even get the point of view of a dog, his point of view on her, which is so interesting. Like when else are you going to do that? But I just did have a little bit of an issue with it, I would say. But she has a daughter and she never wanted kids, and she goes through like a lot of hardships to get to where she's at, so many, and she, like I said, is just badass. And if you love a good book advocating for women, getting through hard times, and like this is an adult book, so if you're into that kind of adult literature fiction, you would like this book. And that's all 7 books I read. Thank you so much for watching. I miss you guys. Comment down below. Talk to me. Let me know what you're reading. Give me some book recommendations, anything, because I do miss you. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, it's all linked down below. Check out my shorts because I do post a lot of shorts and stay kind of active on there. And check out Luisa for sure. Check out my link down below in the description. You can get all the jewelry that I have, even this ring, so gorgeous, all of it down below. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!